Hi, Interweb. I'm going to show how to make a 4x6 character note card for Whitebox. And so for dice rolls, you just use a 3d6, but I'm using a dice rolling program called dicelog.com. And you just simply type in, I want to roll 3d6 six times, and it rolls down and gives you the numbers you want. In this case, I use 10, 17, 6, 12, 12, and 15. I'm going to use the same rolls for all the characters I'm going to create. So I'm just going to kind of show you how to kind of put it together fairly quickly on a note card. So I am now going to go to, in this case, a Paint program so I could do a fighter creation. My scores, of course, were fairly nice. I kept rolling till I got something I like, and that's kind of for doing this, right? So my strength was 17. Okay, it gives me a +2. And this is going to go for melee and damage, okay? And I just want to write, well, that's what that would be used for. A 15 gives me a +1, and I'm using these scores down here. I have another video explaining character creation and why I did that. And this is going to go for two things, for range attack. And of course, the other thing it's going to go for is armor class. It'll give me an armor class boost because you're able to like move very fast and get out of the way. So I got two 12s, a 10, and a 6, okay? I am going to put my 12 at Constitution. It does not give me a bonus, but it kind of does, depending on how you play your campaign. And 12 for Wisdom, and these are all based on skills, okay? My next important, you say intelligence or charisma. Actually, for me, charisma is actually more important than what intelligence would be. According to the scores, this is a -1, and this would be still a 0, okay? He only gets one language. If you have to get over 10, every point over 10 in Whitebox, you get an additional language to learn, okay? For a fighter, just to kind of let you know, to roll for hit points, they roll 1d6, and you add 1 to it, and that's going to be your hit points. So you can sit there and say, well, starting off, I want to give the guy 7 full hit points on first level. I'm a little more generous than that. I just believe that I want the character to be invested in by the actual player. To do that, I just simply take the Constitution. In this case, I add this 12 plus 7 is going to give me my 19. That right there should give these guys enough that what happens is, like I said, you want people to invest in the actual character. And I've done this, and obviously it has not hurt the game one iota. It actually makes it a little more fun. Got to think about it. If everybody's hitting with the D6, you know, after this is 3 hits, you could die, right? Especially if they get a bonus. But usually have 4 hits and you're gone. So this at least lets the playing character on first level get hit 4 times. And maybe that's, you know, it's anti-OSR, but I just think it's just, it makes it better for people. We always changed that when we were growing up too. So fighters, starting off with, get a saving throw of 14, okay? And we're going to determine the armor class by the stuff that they buy and stuff they use. Now, to get the amount of money you start off with is just 3d6 and add, actually multiply it by 10 to get your number. But I'm just going to go into the next part of the card, okay? So you can see where to put everything else and how it all fits in here. So for my class, I'm going to put fighter, okay? And you would do this as well as if this was the class you're making. He gets a +2 on his saving throw. This is where you put your attribute skills and spells. +2 on the save for what? It's poison and death. He gets a +2, right? I do a little simple thing because a lot of times these are repetitive things that you buy. And let's say he says, wow, backpack, bedroll, flint, steel, torch, it's only 50 gold pieces. He circles the one he wants. Now, for encumbrance, you can weigh all this stuff if you want to do that. That's like essentially accounting and bookkeeping. If you're really into that, good luck. I pretty much just say you can carry as many things on you as your strength allows, which is this guy could carry 17 items on him. I do not count armor because you'd be wearing it, and the weapons you would have in hand, and I would consider 2 things on your belt. Now, this kind of helps make things much easier for certain characters that don't have a strength of 17, okay? So if I went through and I picked the weapons that he chose, suppose he took let's say a double-handed sword, right? Say a 2-hand sword, right? and that is actually 1d6 plus 1 for its damage, okay? But he gets a bonus to hit, right? Which is going to be 0 if he's first level, right? But his strength bonus is 2. His overall bonus to hit will be 2. But this also gets applied to his sword for damage. So one thing you could do is just automatically say 1d6 plus 1, then you could put plus 2 on the outside. I just tell characters or players just to do this to make it easy on yourself. I just put this straight off 1d6 plus 3. And you could do that as well, right? It makes it a little easier for them, right? And the other thing, let's say he's going to grab a longbow. Let's say he had enough money for one, right? This is my arrow counters here. So every time he fires an arrow, he colors in the circle so you can see how many arrows he used up, right? And I let them recover half their arrows if I'm in a mood. Sometimes I say, no, you're breaking them all against stone walls, right? Damage for an arrow, okay, is 1d6, right? And there's actually no strength bonuses for something that you're shooting. I know Swords of Wizardry Complete actually gives the bonus for strength in here too, but bow, arrow, no. All right, so that's just how I run it. His bows to hit is actually 0, first level fighter, but he gets a +1 for his dexterity, so it would be +1 to hit with the bow. Keep in mind, bows are really awesome here because these jokers get to fire 2 times in a round, and I really, really like that rule. When you turn around and you get, okay, I'm sorry, he did not pick a pack. Let's just say he picks A for fun, right? But I was going to show you that they could carry more items. This has how many items in it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I count all the food as 1, right? So this has 9 items in it. And I believe this one has 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It says 10. I'm sorry. Like I said, once again, I put the iron spikes with the hammer. I guess it's all kind of put together. So sometimes you might be limited. As far as the DM goes, some people want torches, some people want a hooded lantern. It's just a matter of choice. Both of them were 50 gold pieces, so they can have the basic things they need: backpack, bedroll, flint, and steel. If they decide not to get something like a bedroll and they had to camp out, I give them -2 for everything the next day because of exhaustion, have a nice sleep. They sleep 2 nights in a row without something like a bedroll, then it's -4. You get the idea, -6. That teaches them to bed down correctly. So that's a matter of preference. I mean, for some people, I guess for me, it just seems practical that they do need to have the ability to rest. Same thing with food or water. They just kind of start to lose the ability to, how would you say, be as proficient at hitting as they should. When you pick an armor, let's say this guy has 2-headed sword, he's going to get chainmail. So I tell them just circle the thing you got. These are both 2-headed weapons. He is not going to get a shield because it's going to be encumbering. Okay, so this is sort of fun. He turns around. His armor class is going to be 10, right? +4 for the chainmail, plus his dexterity +1. He has a armor class of 15. So with that being the case, we now know it's 15. I'm going to go back up to the chart here, and his armor class is 15. These are important numbers. That's why they're on the front of the card, most often used, which your AC. AC is 15. Hit points 19, saving throw 14. That's why they're all here and bigger than everywhere else in the card. They're the most likely ones to be asked about, okay? Now, scrolling down here, got a couple more things I'd like to show you. Here's a helmet. This is a feature that's actually on the white box sheet. I say you saves you from 1 critical hit, then it's damage. So if you're wearing a helmet, somebody critical hits you, and if you say, well, it's a 20, and in my game, it's maximum damage. So you could sit there and say, well, I'm going to skip that maximum damage. I'm going to just let my helmet get busted. Then they have to roll. Could still end up being a 6, so whatever. Anyways, but the idea is it's just one more attempt at keeping your character from dying. So that's how you fill out a card. It's fairly easy. Like I said, it's 10 minutes. You can get this all done, and it has everything you need for doing this. Once again, it's something to consider. I know if you went through, it tells you how many hirelings. You could write that in here. Your wisdom. If you're doing roll under skill checks, that kind of helps for a bunch of these things. But the them being the small, and I could just put my player name. Oh, I'm John, and I put the name of the guy here. I'm going to go Stan, whatever. So like I said, they could keep them all logged in together. It's nice, it's neat, it's complete. Okay. All right. Any kind of comment you want to make, just leave it down below, and hopefully you. It's maybe kind of for some people, it was so rudimentary, but like if you're teaching people how to do something like kids, this may be a fun video for everybody to watch. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Have a wonderful day.